Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Script and Execute. My name is Shruti. In this video and in some upcoming videos, I will show you how to create a simple framework in Playwright. Okay, I've already made a video on how to create a framework, but in this series, I will show you a simpler and easier way to understand. Okay, so here we build a framework from scratch using Page Object Model. Okay, and along with that I will also explain the possible interview questions they can ask. Okay, so around this framework, and I will show you how you can answer them. Okay, before we begin, I hope you already know the basics of Playwright. If not, there is a beginner friendly tutorial on my channel where I've explained Playwright as well as how to use programming in automation. Okay, so if you are a complete beginner, you can watch those videos first. Okay, let's get started. So let's start with what is page object model. Okay, so page object model is also called as POM. Okay, so page object model is a design pattern used in test automation framework. Okay, so it is a design pattern used in test automation framework where each web page of the application is represented as a separate class. Okay, so this is very important point. Okay, so each web page of the application is represented as a separate class. Okay, so what I mean by that is, so here I will take this Amazon example. Okay, so here we have multiple pages. Okay, so I'll click on this mobile. Okay, so in page object model we'll create a class for mobile, and here this mobile class contains the elements and the action we perform in this mobile class. Okay, and if we create, and I'll create a separate class for electronics, and this class contains the electronics uh, locators, I mean elements and actions we can perform on this electronics page. Okay, so this is why we say in page object model each web page of the application is represented as a separate class. Okay, so here this class contains the locator means elements. Okay, and the actions we perform. Okay, so here if I scroll down, what actions we can perform on this. Okay, so I might click on this and add to the cart, and I just validate the price or this price or the text. So whatever the validations I perform on this electronic page all comes under this electronic class. Okay, okay, so this makes more readable and reusable and maintainable. Okay, so I will explain how this is readable, maintainable, and reusable. Okay, okay. So next, let us understand the benefits or why we use page object model. Okay, benefits or why we use page object model. Okay, so this is very important. First one, reusability. Okay, okay, so reusability is, so you know the meaning of reusability. Okay, so we write some actions inside the class. Okay, so I will take login example. Okay, so I'll create a class for login page, and I will create a method to log into the application. Okay, so now this application has many pages, correct? So now I want to go to the electronic page. Okay, so what I'll do, first I will log in, then I will go to the electronic page. Okay, so I don't have to log in, but I'm just saying. Okay, so if you have to mandatorily log in, so first we use the login method and we'll go to the electronic page. Okay, so and if I want to, I'll add the method. Next I want to add some product to the cart. Okay, in that test case also I need to use login method. Okay, then another test case. Okay, after adding product to the cart, I want to validate removing product from the cart. Okay, for that test case also I have to log in, means I'm using the same login method multiple times. Okay, so instead of writing the login method in all the test scripts, I'm writing only once, and I'm reusing the same method in multiple test script where and all I need to use login. Okay. Okay, so this is what reusability is. Okay, so we can use the same method so wherever we need that. Okay, next is maintainability. Maintainability. Spelling. Okay, so maintainability is, so if any element changes in any of the page. Okay, so not in any of the page, I will give an example. So think of a login page. Okay, so it's just an example. Okay, rarely anything gets changed in the login page. If any element gets changed in login page, we can go to that login page and we change only that locator. Okay, so I will explain you once I get to the practicals. Okay, so if any element changes in any of the page, we'll find that page, because for in page object model, for every page we are creating the class. Okay, so we will know if anything changes in the login page, we directly go to the login page and we are updating the changed element. Okay, and wherever the, I mean, so whatever the test scripts used that method, we don't have to change in all the test scripts. Okay, just um, updating in one places will get reflected in all other test scripts. Okay, so it means maintaining page object model is easy. Okay, so it is not messy. You know that. Okay, somebody will say, or developer will tell you that I made some changes in this page. Okay, so you can go and you can do the changes in the particular pages. Okay, so because it is easy to find, because you are creating pages for, you're creating classes for each page. Okay, and next one is readability. Okay, so readability is, test becomes easy to read here. Okay, because here we focus on what the test does. Okay, so here, so I'll give example. In page object model, we are creating, as I said, we are creating each um, class for we are creating for every page, we are creating separate classes. Okay, so in the main test scripts, okay, so in the main test script, so what we execute is login, then add to cart, then remove from cart. It is just an example. Add to cart and remove from cart. Okay, so this is how our test script looks. Okay, so here I am not showing what I'm doing to click on the login method. Okay, so this is become easy to read. Okay, so it just looks like a business action. Okay, so login, add to cart and remove from cart. Okay, so easy, it is easy to read. Okay, and if anything fails in any step, suppose if anything got failed in add to cart, we can directly go to that add to cart method and make some changes to that. Okay, so readability is, it is easy to read. Okay, next is scalability. Okay, so page object model makes it very easy to add new page. Okay, new page or new feature. Okay, so here currently we have these many tabs. Okay, so tomorrow if they want to add any other tab to this, it is easy to add. um, it is easy to implement that in our framework, because what we are doing, we are creating a separate class and we are adding the actions and elements to that. Okay, so scalability is, it is easy to handle more texts and pages without making it messy. Okay. Okay, next is abstraction. Next is abstraction. Okay, so abstraction is, so I'll give you this, I'll give the same example. Okay, so here when I say this execute, so here they don't have to know, so what elements and what elements or what methods I've used to click on this login button. Okay, so they just, it is just abstraction. Okay, so I'm completely hiding what I'm doing inside this login method. Okay, so here it focuses mainly on the action. Okay, it hides the internal details of the page. Okay, so and same thing with the add to cart. Okay, so here I'm not telling the person who is executing this so what locator I'm choosing to click on the add to cart button, or to click on that what method I'm using. Okay, so it is just clicking on the add to cart button. Okay, okay, so this is what abstraction. Okay, so here we are hiding the internal details. As you can see, this is how the test script looks. So here this is cleaner, correct? It has only login, add to cart and remove from the cart. Okay, so this is what abstraction is. Okay, to show you this, I will use source demo application. Okay, so first let us create a simple login test, and then we will see how the same test can be written in framework structure using page object model. Okay, okay, so let's start. So for that, here I've selected new framework, created a folder called Playwright, and I've installed Playwright to this. Okay, so inside the tests folder, I'll create a spec file. Create new file, login.spec.ts. Okay, and we need to import two things, that is test and expect. Test comma expect from Playwright test library. Okay, so we are importing test and expect from Playwright test library. Okay, so test is used to define a test block. Okay, so where we write our test case. Okay, so inside that test we are writing the test case, and expect is for validation. Okay, it is for assertion. Okay, so this expect is help us to verify the actual result matches with the expected. Okay, okay, so let us create a test block. So test, and within a single quote enter the test name. So here I will say log into source demo application with valid credentials. Okay, then put comma, sorry, this is not text, this is test. Then async, open bracket, and within curly braces type page. Okay, then after this is equal to greater than symbol. Just see here, async spelling was wrong. Okay, okay, so now what we need to do, we need to launch the first I'll explain what it is. Okay, so here we are defining the test block. Okay, then here we are using async keyword because playwright commands are asynchronous. Okay, okay, then here I'm passing page. Here this page represents the browser page. Okay, so this represents the browser page, and using this we are interacting with the web page. Okay, okay, so I hope this is clear what is async and what is page. Okay, so as we are using async because playwright commands are asynchronous. Okay, and also javascript and typescript are also asynchronous. Okay, so now let us launch our application. So how to launch? Await page dot go to, and here enter the URL. So this is the URL. Okay, okay, so here I'm using await because as I said this is asynchronous. Okay, so what this await keyword will do is it is wait for the current step to complete its execution. Okay, so once this step execution is completed, then it goes to the second step. Okay, okay, so now we launch the application. What is the second step? Second step is to enter the username. Okay, let us inspect. Okay, it has class, it has placeholder, and it has ID also. Let us take ID. Await page dot locator within double quote username. Okay, so this is ID, so we have to use hash, and dot fill. So fill method is used to enter the text into the input field. Okay, so what is the username? So here only it is there. Username is standard user. Next is password. Await page dot locator. So let us inspect password. So ID is password and dot fill. Password is secret sauce. Okay, so next we need to click on the login button. Let us take ID. Wait page dot locator. So this is ID. So ash dot click. Okay, so click method is to click on the element. Okay, okay, so after clicking I want to validate something, that is uh, this page. After clicking on that, this page should its URL should get changed. Okay, so I want to validate that. So let me copy that from here itself. Okay, it has to have this URL. Okay, so to add the assertion, await expect. So what I'm expecting this page dot to have URL. Okay, so I'm expecting this page to have this URL which I copied. Okay, okay, so now let us execute this. Okay, so I'm in Playwright automation, so the script in Playwright framework. So let us switch the terminal, new terminal. I'll select Playwright framework. Okay, so I've already, yeah, so this is nps playwright test. The command is to execute the test. Tests is the folder name and this is the spec file name, and hyphen hyphen project chromium, it is I want to execute this only in Chromium browser. Okay, so if I remove this, it will execute in all three browsers. And hyphen hyphen headed is because I want to launch the browser and see the execution. Okay, so if I remove this, it will execute in, it will not launch the browser. Okay, okay, so in the next video I will show you how to convert this simple test into framework. Okay, so we'll separate all this locator in some page and we'll create two classes. One class is to keep these locators and another class is to keep the actions. Okay, and in the main test file we'll write the actions, main test case. Okay, okay, so it entered the username and password. Okay, one test passed. Okay, okay, so if you think you learned something from this video, please do like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so okay, see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.